Okay, so you can see here, this is the template. So you can see here that this is showing that we will use HashiCorp Kubernetes provider and a Huawei Cloud provider. Okay, because this is from Terraform is from a third party that can work with several providers. But in this case, we are saying that we will use Kubernetes and Huawei Cloud as a template. Okay, we are saying that the region is in Brazil, as I told you or showed you, that we need to provide an access key and secret key. This is my account's access key and secret key. Okay, a node password, and this is how we will access the cluster pool. Okay, so then everything that somebody can do with the console, with the Huawei Cloud Console, is done here, but in an infrastructure as a code strategy. Okay, so this is the definition of the Kubernetes provider. Okay, that has a host, a certificate, a key, a certificate. Then the step that we saw, the creation of the VPC. Okay, so you can see here that is going to create a VPC in this network segment. Then it creates the subnet in a network subsegment as well. Okay, this is creating the EIP, and this is important because we need to connect to the outside world. Okay, for this WordPress application, so we need to create an EIP. Okay, and this step can provide a traffic EIP of 5 megabits per second. Okay, then in this step, the standard cluster, we are using a standard cluster. Okay, so this is the definition. So everything that is done in the console is done in here, but programmatically. Okay, then the node pool, you can see here, there is a Euler OS 2.0. This is the operating system. This is the flavor ID. We need to be sure that in the region where we will deploy, this flavor of ECS exists. The size of the disk, etc. Okay, in this part, we are executing the plugins or installing the plugins for the Kubernetes cluster. In this case, the metric server, okay, the autoscaler params, some other params for the autoscaler plugin. Okay, we are creating a namespace that is test in the Kubernetes. And then I am creating the deployments. I told you that this is a WordPress implementation. So those are all the parameters for the WordPress. Okay, I'm providing a user password for the database. The auto-scaling capabilities of the deployment. Okay, the service. This is how we will connect to the outside world. Okay, you can see here that is with an elastic load balancer. Okay, then the deployment for the MySQL database, providing a user and password for the admin database. We need to be sure that we can open this port. You know that the MySQL listen at the 3306 port. So everything is ready. We create the service as well for the MySQL, and that's it. Okay, so this is the template for implementing this application. And you can see here that my Terraform script has finished. Okay.